Hey everyone, I'm Noel Grenier, and I'm here today to discuss with you guys two articles that I found this week for week 9 and 10, and one exciting video that I want to share with you. So, for starters, I want to talk about a cool article I found on the Mobile Health Spot website. So, what this was showing was a relatively new, it was in 2015, that's when it was first developed and released, but a relatively new Microsoft Smart Scarf. So this Smart Scarf, yes, it's the type of scarf that you wear that I'm talking about. This scarf was supposed to help people who are trying to control their moods or manage their moods, or also it was supposed to help with autism in a way. So they haven't quite worked out all the kinks yet, but I found this kind of fascinating because I've never heard of a smart scarf. But what it is, it's made of little metal platelets that are pretty discreet, hidden within the scarf. It just kind of looks like a normal scarf, but it's like flexible and made out of a different material to preserve the electronics in it, obviously. And this is all controlled via Bluetooth through your phone. There's an app that goes with it on your phone. So what it does is it will have three features. They're currently working on another feature to add music to it, so you could play music that represents your current mood. But also, what they're doing with this is have a feature to heat up, a feature to cool down. So if like you're stressed, it'll cool you down. Sometimes that people find that relaxing, and I have a vibration feature. So the heating and vibration feature, the heating one I heard or I read about, that was about to or was in place to help people kind of relax when they're stressed too, or to if they're feeling angry. Sometimes people find heat soothing. Um, so that was one of the things that was used to manage your emotions. But the vibration was, I guess, was used for the use of autism. So people with disorders like autism, I guess it's a relaxing feature or a relaxing feeling that they when they feel they actually feel a lot better. Helps calm them down, soothe them. Moving on to the next article. The next article that I read was called Data Overload by Alex Hutchinson. So this article was discussing how when looking at the US, we typically now in terms of fitness, we analyze data very analytical. It's very numbers. Everything is we analyze every little component of that makes up people's performance and their exercise, and they're saying that in some cases this is not always good. And Alex Hutchinson, who is actually someone who harps on using statistics, using analytics, and using this stuff to actually see what correlates with what and what as the direct cause and all that good stuff. But he's actually seeing through other people's perspectives and point of views that this may not be all what we need, even though it is very helpful. But sometimes data can get in the way of what's really important and impact and change the way we approach our performance or our exercise goals that we have. So he found in the interview with, I think it was her name was Janet. She was a track star who came from Kenya. She found that comparing how people in the U.S. Prepare for their matches and prepare for their running is a lot different than compared to where she lived in Kenya. So she was saying that Alex Hutchinson was saying that it's more analytical in the U.S. So people are more looking at the exact statistics that or the exact little aspects or components that make up your performance. So she was saying that it was more stress because they're focusing on every little thing instead of just doing what she loved to do, doing what she knows how to do. Whereas when she's at Kenya, her training, it was more of try to stick with the fastest guy when they're running, try to stick with the fastest girl when they're running, compete and beat those people who are above them, and that's how they got better. Um, but for another example that he found, it was some guy. I can't think of the name right now, but he was a guy who loved doing climbing, mountain climbing. Um, so what he ended up doing was when he would practice, he wouldn't focus so much on the technology that's come out to help them. There was like new devices that would analyze sweat, and it would be able to tell your lactate threshold from there. If you're dehydrated, blah, like all that stuff. it would go on and on discussing that. Or they had a 3D analysis device that would allow them to see their climbing form, seeing the angle, seeing the exact pressure they were putting from their feet to climb up, showing what the exact pressure they need. And he was saying that not Alex Hutchins, the other guy was saying that it was more natural and it felt better just to feel it and not to have to watch your device and use your device to determine this. And because they were dealing with higher altitudes, so they felt like by practicing it regularly and doing it, they could get a feeling of what was right and if they were ready from their body telling them if they were ready, not just the numbers, not just what they're getting from their sweat analysis. So then moving on to a video that I found that I thought was quite interesting. This was a device called the Versus Station. So this station is like a virtual like workout center. So what it is it's like a small station that has say a TV in front of you that is a little bit higher than you. Say if I was standing, it would be like face level. And below that they have what they call a smart rack, which possesses dumbbells and kettlebells on this rack. So this was a device that they were saying was had the possibility of replacing gyms and being the future gym in for us to come. So they were showing how it would be able to take place as the future gym and how it would replace other gyms now. So what it is, it's a station that can be compatible with up to 16 other Versus stations. So it gives you the ability, if you want and you're in the same room as other people who are on those stations, you have the ability to compete with them. You also have the ability to just engage with 16 other people to get their feedback, to see where you rack up against them. Also, there were the smart rack feature that I mentioned earlier. Allows the device to detect when you are removing the dumbbell or kettlebell. So that being said, it will be able to determine what weight you're using. It has a 3D sensor, so it can determine your range of motion when you are lifting. So it will give you tips as well as a visual assistant showing you how to properly do and perform your exercises. And I thought that was pretty cool. Also, there's a personal trainer that pops up in the top corner of the screen giving you different words of encouragement, how to push through your workout. Also portraying a pretty accurate emotion of how you are in that situation. So say you're struggling, he's getting mad at you, pushing you. If you're doing a good job, he's giving you those positive words of encouragement to keep you going. And if you're down a little bit, not meeting your goals, he's still pushing you along the way. So it's kind of cool because that's like a virtual personal trainer that you can have anywhere you go. You don't have to ask someone else for help. So yeah, those are my 3 things I wanted to share with you guys. If you want any more information, you guys can look at my WordPress blog I have, Grenier's Health and Fitness. But thank you. Any questions, right below.